Steve Jobs and Apple. In 1976, Steve Jobs and his partners Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne tried to start the Apple. At the time, they named their business as Apple Computer Company. All three get funding from a product marketing manager and a retired technician from NTC named Mike Markkula Jr. Then when Apple expands, the company started looking for experienced executives to help manage the expansion. Then in 1977, the two of them reintroduced Apple to the public. Since then, sales of the Apple II began to grow rapidly. Then in 1980, Apple Computer founder introduces the Apple III. In 1983, Steve Jobs started pulling John Sculley from the Pepsi-Cola company to become the leader of Apple Computer. In that year, Apple introduced its newest product, the Apple Lisa. Then in 1984, Apple is again trying to introduce its newest computer product called the Macintosh. This product is the first computer that has been successfully sold to the market by presenting interface features or interfaces in the form of using graphics. Macintosh successes, making Apple companies abandon Apple II products, weakened production that still exists today. However, under Sculley's leadership, it turned out that Steve Jobs couldn't find a match. There are so many things that are not in harmony between the two. Until finally it had an impact on the decline in sales. Sculley decides to expel Steve Jobs from the Apple company. Then in 1996, Apple company finally buys Next Computer for $402 million. That way, it automatically brought Steve Jobs back to the company he had founded. Until 1997, Steve Jobs became interim chairman of the Apple company after Gil Amelio's departure. There, Steve Jobs and his co-workers started developing computers with a variety of advanced technologies, namely Macintosh. With the purchase of the company Next Computer, Next proprietary technology implemented into products made by Apple. Under the leadership of Steve Jobs, the company started to increase its sales after they released the iMac. August 2011. Steve Jobs resigns as CEO of the company Apple. But a few hours after Steve Jobs officially resigned, Apple Incorporated, AAPL, shares fell 5% in post trading. It's really hard to design products by focus groups. A lot of times, people don't know what they want until you show it to themes by Steve Jobs. There are many stories that a person goes through to become successful. Many people know only when successful. There is no success that comes without struggle and a long journey. Go through the process so you can enjoy the results.